Hi there, in this video we'll be upgrading the intercooler, which is down there, on this Audi A4 B8 from 2010 with a stock one that's just a tiny bit bigger, but enough to make a difference, and it will just bolt in place. And to reach it, we need to remove the bumper, which is a separate video that will be linked in the description. And I'm doing this because I ripped the bumper clean off on that side and I need to fix it. So I decided, why not solve the intercooler issue also. Man, this looks yucky and it's really bent, so the airflow in this was extremely bad. Now we need to get it out. Obviously untighten this. There's also a flathead in there, but not enough room with this big flathead, so I need to get a smaller one, pop it out of there. And in here I think we kind of need to push that to the side to be able to yank this out, because this is basically holding the intercooler to not come out of here, as far as I know. I was able to pop it out of there basically, and it seems it's enough. You can slide this out, out of this channel, and being rubber, it kind of allows you to do this. But you might see something is missing there. While I was playing around, this thing ripped completely off. It was barely holding on the top. Rest of it is long ago broken. So I also need to fix this. On the other side, it was already noticed, it's in the process of gluing, but I think it will not be enough. So yeah, we'll see. But now I need to also pull this fellow, but hoses. Need to fix the hoses, get them out first. Undid this with a wide flathead. And now move this just a tiny bit, because mine wasn't moved in 15 years, so it's not moving. Do not damage the hose or the inside of the hose, because it will not seal, but move it just a tiny bit so it starts to wiggle like this. Get it out and do the same on the other side. Next step, we have some clips in here. Make sure you push them down enough just so you slightly get them out, but don't pull forward too much. It's not going to come directly forward, it wants to lift once those are undone. Sorry, it's just one clip, because on this side we have a Torx T25 and mine is really rusted. Maybe T30, could be T30, but being this rusty I didn't know. Yeah, I think it's a T30. Yep, T30. So one side it has a clip, the other has this screw, and now in theory, more or less, we should be able to lift it, but this is still a bit in the way on this side, so I'm not really sure how to get this fully out of the way, so I'm going to just wiggle it around until it allows me enough clearance to yank this fellow out. And it's out. And the breeze, I will clean them. This needs to have air going through it and further, so clean this as best as you can. This is where it needs to come out from, so yeah, a bit of cleaning. Ooh. And let me show you the difference. You can see it's a thickness difference, and some report that even the fins are denser on this one, and the flow is a bit improved, but I think I put them wrong way around. It's actually a bit no, not longer, it's just I hope they fit. I think they do fit. This with that, this more or less with that. Nah, that one is also a bit longer than mine. I hope I don't have a weird one where this one doesn't fit, because people were saying they are interchangeable. Okay, is the diameter the same? I hope it is. Measured everything. This is longer, of course, but yeah, the mountings are the same. Diameter is a tiny bit bigger, so we might have a bit of trouble pushing the hoses, but I think they will fit. It's just maybe 2 millimeters wider or something like that. I will measure now and tell you. Just by measuring with this, so in no way exact, I get on the external lip on the old 159, on this 62. Close enough, so yeah. And thickness of it, so it's more or less about 62, 63, maybe it should be a 65 on the old one. And yeah, why wouldn't this go in? It's almost 80 on the new one, so 15 millimeters of thickness, and also considerable length distance. I will put them one by one and see what we get extra. I would say 5 centimeters extra. So yeah, this is bigger, and like this they are the same, so we are not losing anything, just gaining everywhere. Make sure you cover these things, the hoses, when you clean, because if anything goes in them, it's a direct path to your motor. And in there, the silencer delete or the dampener. So just for more whoosh whoosh noises. Video in the description if you want to also do that while you're at it. Anyway, cleaning continues. Putting it in, got this out of the way. It's on the hanger in there. Make sure you don't get debris into it, because again, direct path to your motor, that's not going to be fun. Now I need to lift it on this hanger, clip it, and put the screw on the other side, and then deal with those fellows. Some oil will be required and lots of persuasion, maybe even warming them up just a tad bit. And it's locked. And don't forget, even for a second, these fins can't wait to mess you up. So yeah, and there is a bit of space between this one and the one behind it, so that's good. Now in here we can put the screw in back, tightening the screw behind this with a flexible element, and it's fully tightened. I put some oil on it just to make sure that is it tightened. Yes, it is tightened. Make sure it goes in easier. And now some oil on this end inside the hose, because we all know this engine likes its oil. Ta-da! Oil, gentle persuasion, and the help of one of these running on the inside to make sure it goes in, because being tighter, it has a tendency of one side to don't start to go in. But yeah, it's kind of stretched, so I will keep my eye on it to see what happens in time. If it cracks, replace it with a proper one. Ran out of battery, so I'm not sure what I showed you. This is fully tightened. This will not go in its place anymore because that is longer, so I will just leave it willy-nilly in here. It's rubber, so it will compress under the bumper. No issues there. Same in here. This thing fully tightened, that is clipped in. We are locked on the underside, and remember, don't run your finger on it, it will cut you. I think I have some. Anyway, so there's that. Yeah, so that's it for this particular video. It will be continued basically when I tell you if I feel anything. Probably in day-to-day driving I will not feel anything, but the engine should get colder air for sure from this thing. And if you want to see how to put everything back together, what's not related directly to this thing, so the bumper, that's a separate video in the description. And now most of this is assembled. You can see our rubber is still in there doing its thing. Kind of hard to show you on the other side, but it's still there. So even on this bigger thing, the rubber still somehow stays there. But look at this little guy. Woohoo! Longer, bigger, better. Just look at that pretty little intercooler. Luckily, the mishap with the bumper made me upgrade it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. So, all is good in the end. Stuff like this, plastic metal can be fixed. People, that sometimes can't be fixed. So, yeah, a little mishap turned good in the end. Okay, so I've been driving the car for about 1.5 months, I think, from when I changed the intercooler, but obviously, as you can see, it's kind of winter, so the stock intercooler was not an issue during colder months, for sure. Neither am I really driving the car that hard that the intercooler would have gotten heat soak, really. Maybe in the mid of summer, who knows, but probably not anyway. But I had the bumper off, so I needed to do it. Anyway, and I think we have a better airflow for sure, so maybe incremental upgrades, maybe adding 1% here, 2% there, 3% in another place, who knows, they all help the engine be a bit more responsive and breathe a bit better. So would I do it again? Yeah, for sure. This one, absolutely, I would do it again, especially seeing that the other old intercooler was kind of beat up and had lots of bent fins and whatnot. So yeah, the new one is it's much better, and it's bigger, so for sure it will not get heat soak as easily. And they did put it on the engines that make a bit more horsepower, and considering mine has that chip on it and it does make a bit more horsepower than stock, for sure, yeah, probably it's a good thing that I put the bigger intercooler on it, and it was cheap. So yeah, I would do it again for sure. And that's about it for the video. If I see any difference in day-to-day driving, yeah, I cannot really tell, honestly. This car is driving really well. Had its timing rebuilt just I don't know, probably a month ago or something like that. So it's driving really well. It's, yeah, the intercooler couldn't make really that much of a difference that the fresh timing that now is perfect does. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. Hope this video helps you. If it does, maybe subscribe, check out my other Audi related videos, and as always, see you in the next one. Bye.